it's not just about, is the house okay? Do we have availability of housing? It's to do with, is the housing suitable? Is the house suitable? It's suitability that we have to look at, yeah? Because when we have people who have, are in a wheelchair, we cannot give them a house in the Constitution, because if the lift breaks down, then they are, you know, they're stuck there. So we have to look at the, not just the house availability, but the house suitability, ground floor, lift, wide doorways, ample corridors where they can turn around, wet rooms, etc., etc., etc. So, you know, this is one of the key elements that really stops us from, how shall I say, speeding up the process, okay? So, and it is true that he said 2 had passed away who were on the medical waiting list. Yes, and I know that people are probably going to think, yeah, sure. I'm not going to lie, I never have. And I can tell you that those 2 people were in hospital. They did have earmarks, but never made it out of the hospital.
And Mr. Pinna does say that realistically, there's nothing, sadly, that nothing that can be done in order to accommodate and allocate these people with heightened needs accommodation. He does understand there's a limited supply. But what steps is the housing department taking, for example, to try and release those properties and the quick turnaround of those properties as well?
Look, for example, we're now going to release the housing allocation scheme, revamped and amended housing allocation scheme, which will help. And I mean, I will be talking about this much later, but I'm just giving you a little bit heads up, that there will be a system in place that will alert far more quickly and visibly the people who actually need immediate housing allocation.
Now, the biggie they do highlight is that they need to unclog those lists. There's a massive number of people on the waiting list. The only way to remedy that, according to Action for Housing, is the creation of a government rental estate, which your government is committed to,
Yes.
and which is what Mr. Bean and Action for Housing is now calling for. Greater clarity on that project, further details, when, where, and how many units?
When, where, and how is a question that it was already posed in Parliament, and the CM was very clear when he answered, and he said, when we do know when, where, and how, you will be the first ones to know. But at the moment, no comment.
But,
No comment in the sense that I cannot tell you how many or where and how and etc. Oh no, it is going to be done.
Is it one of your priorities?
Of course.
And
of course.
ideally, what time frame would you like, at least for the announcement of that?
I'm not going to commit here to anything, because afterwards it's going to come back to me. You know, I wish I had a magic wand. It's not going to happen. Magic wands don't exist. Genie doesn't exist, you know. It'll happen as soon as we can make it happen. But happen it must.
So perhaps you do agree with Action for Housing on that one point at least, that the creation of this estate, however many number of units you might be creating, will help to alleviate these lists and perhaps be able to prioritize these people who are in genuine need of appropriate accommodation.
We are, like I said, look, we've been in, what, 8 months, 7, 8 months? I have given 116 houses already. So it's a pretty good turnover, and we are trying our best, and we are trying to see how we can make it faster.